Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew, and welcome on back to Leo Gaming. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm having a fantastic day, and I know it's been a little while since we've been in Transport Fever 2. I know, it's been longer than what it's needed to be. If I just take a look at my history right now, I think it's been roughly 3 weeks since my last episode. And I did say at the end of that last episode that I would be doing a bit of off-camera work for you guys. Also, I do want to let you guys know, if the volume at all seems a little bit echoey at all, that is because I've redone my desk space and kind of things are going to be a bit echoey because my mic doesn't have anything surrounding it, so there's nothing for the echoes to reverberate off of. So it's definitely something that I'm going to be working with here. Now, let's see. It says 16 days ago was my last episode. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, what is it that we got here? Well, we got the stone line that is taking the stone from the quarry over to construction materials plant. Then we got the construction materials lines that go out from the construction materials plant all the way over to. Also, I'm gonna exit out of this train here. We got the construction materials heading out of this plant, and I believe it is heading only to Woodstock and to Wragby, as those are the only two stations on this line that are in need of construction materials. Wivelscombe is not in need of construction materials, but it is in need of fuel and tools, which hopefully we'll be able to address pretty soon. Now, we do got a lot of other cities on our network that we have yet to actually address, really. So we got Wood Green over here, we got Rugby over here. Rugby is actually getting service by tools, so it's getting tools from the tool factory that's being serviced by our sawmill, which is being serviced by our forestry up here. It's also being serviced by Disc Forestry, but I think that there's very few cars that are going from this forestry down to the sawmill. So I think that should be fine, though. In terms of what's next up on the list, well, I got a few different options here. Well, the first option is to create another train line that goes from Wragby here over to Thetford, Donwyn, and possibly to Biggleswade. Biggleswade is definitely a contender for that line. Might have it be a branch line from Thetford. Maybe. Who knows? It all depends on what we want to do. And the reason we can do it that way is because we left this track right here unoccupied. So we can bring this track over this way across the cargo line and have it come across the bridge over to Thetford. And that would hopefully increase our transit between these two cities. Now, we would also have to address the issue in terms of the bus lines that we got. So, Wragby is a really small town. We only got one bus line, if I recall correctly, that comes here. So, yeah, it's a ICB bus. So, definitely having Wragby as a central point for changing, I think that might be a good idea, but there would be the potential of smacking our way through Wragby pretty much and continuing down the river, maybe to Loth or Ferndown, and continuing further down that way. But that will be somewhere down the lines. It's not going to be anywhere within the next couple episodes, I'd say. We do got 10 million in the bank. What I am going to do is I'm going to start to repay that loan that we got. I'm going to repay it so that we got about 5-ish million left. So a little less than 5 million. That should be fine for us. Now, we do got two tracks over here. One track, I think both tracks I'm going to use to go and service the cities that are in this direction. So it will go ahead and service Emsworth, Rugby, and Wood Green, and potentially makes it way down to Hale. Or is it Haley? I think that's Hale. That's a debate in the comment section, to be honest. Let me know. And I don't think that I'm going to utilize the same depot that the dual system uses. I think each one of those lines will have their dedicated depot that we'll use at some point, that is. So definitely let's focus on a line that goes from Wragby over to Thetford and then to Darwin and possibly into a branch line that goes into Biggleswade, and then we'll put like a depot somewhere outside of Thetford possibly, which I think will be a really good way to go and increase the mobility of the actual network. So let's go and get this started here. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to extend this out, following along our main track right here. And I don't want catenary yet because I don't feel comfortable upgrading to catenary at the current moment in time. So definitely just go ahead and keep this coming along here. I think what we can do, we'll save that. We're gonna have to bring you just a little bit alongside this. I think up to about right there. That should be fine. And then we can go ahead and have this branch off here. Possibly. Yeah, right around there would be good. Because that's right next to that signal. Which what we can actually do with that signal, if we pause the game here, I'm going to go ahead and delete that signal. That is going to disrupt one of our connections, but it will make it so that way we can go ahead and re-establish it with a better and smoother transition possibly. So you're going to come along this way. 30,000 I think should be enough. And then we're going to have you crisscross over that. And you're going to go ahead and stay flat. Thank you. Now how does that look on the crossings level? I think that looks pretty nice. I don't know about you guys, but I think that looks pretty nice. Then what I want to do is go and connect this up right there. And we're going to make this a dual crossing. Should be fine, yeah. Oh, that's kind of a bit meh, to say the least. So let's go ahead and try that once more. Get rid of the slope and keep straight as well. And then that should be able to connect at some point. Ooh, bit too much. Okay. And that reestablishes our construction materials connection to Wragby, so that should be fine. And I think what we want to do is we want to extend this piece of track so that way it kind of comes to the same exact point where it kind of turns in on itself. So I think that will be pretty good. So right here, we kind of want to have it be a smooth transition in. So having it be about 35 miles per hour would be okay, since that's actually just the train coming out of the station. So we shouldn't have to worry about any speed issues there. Eventually, when we get faster trains, we might have to rework this, but that's down the road. That's not any time right now. Now, this piece of track right here, we are going to have it go across the river here and follow this bridge, and possibly even follow this road right here. And I'm thinking I want to have it follow on this side over here. I'm not too sure about that bridge, though. Maybe have it elevated a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks better. That way we can get some ferries going across there at some point down the line. Go and have it get double tracked right away. Also, I'm going to go and resume speed now. Or time speed. Also, I don't... Oh, it can cross over. Nice. So I'm going to have this cross over with a 45 mile per hour speed limit. And what we want to do... Ooh, that's a bit rough. Go ahead and do that. And let's see what we can do in terms of connecting that up. A bit much. Can we connect it like that? I don't like it. I do not like it whatsoever. Even if I were to try and raise it up, that's decent. It's not okay, but it's decent. Let's try reestablishing this again. So we get a refund for that, which is fine. Kind of don't really care either way. We could go ahead and just have it come up to about... No, I don't want you snapping. About right there. And then just go... No, I don't want you snapping. There you go. Can you connect like that? Yes, you can. Okay. I don't mind that. I think that's actually really nice. And that looks really elegant. Like, that's a good flying junction right there. Even though it's not actually connecting with any of the roads, it actually has a really nice arc to it. I really do like that. I wouldn't even classify that as a viaduct, but it definitely has a good archway that, or good arc that would make it look like a viaduct. Now, we need to go and have it come back down to the ground somewhere around here. So let's go and get that sorted out. I think having it just come straight on down should be okay. If I were to go and flatten it out, though, that does unnecessarily raise the terrain, which, if I were to take a look at the terrain height map, isn't really needed. So we can actually just go ahead and level this down to the ground. That's not a bad speed to be going at. 70... Yeah, should be fine. Besides, that's off of the bridge anyway. The bridge limits the speed to 56 miles per hour. So there's that. We can have it cut through here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower it by pressing N. And I hope... Ooh, okay, that's not going to do anything. I want it to create a tunnel, please. No tunnel. Okay, well, if you're not going to do it that way, then we'll do it the hard way. Are you going to create a tunnel here? No. Okay. Oh, and we actually don't want to create a tunnel because we are right on the edge of Thetford. So it would be a good idea to go and get the station built up first. We want to have 2 tracks, and keeping it at 160 meters should be okay. And I think that I want to have the station be right over here. Yeah, okay, that should be fine. And also, no catenary. We don't need that right now. We'll upgrade that when the time is right. So that's going to be our station right there. I'm going to get the tracks on either side built up first. That way it will go ahead and make necessary adjustments and tell the AI to not build right where those tracks are. Trust me, the AI does do some wonderful things at times. Anyway, let's go and try and connect this easily. I don't want to try and do anything too rash. So, let's go and make this kind of a bit smooth. If I get rid of the... that's actually pretty nice. Yeah, let's go and keep that. And yeah, we'll go ahead and connect them on up. So that completes the Thetford section. Now we gotta complete section going down to Darwin. Now that, to be honest, that is a really short section. So I might actually have Darwin be the branch line. Ooh, okay. That's actually not a bad idea. And then just have the line go over to Biggleswade and terminate there. Because there's not really any other cities after Biggleswade that we can go to. Like we do got Ferndown down here, but that's a bit out of the way. So we'll have it terminate down over here. Let's go and get a terminal station. I'm going to have it be a 1-track. And I'm just going to have it destroy 1 commercial building. And that should be okay. And then we want to go and get some tracks. I'm not going to worry about double tracking this bridge right here. But I do want to go ahead and elevate it It's not going to do much of an elevation, but lower it a little bit. Yeah, I don't expect to bring any ferries up this way, so it should be fine. Also, that's in direct collision of that farm, so possibly... I think we can work with that. I think we can work with that. So, let's actually have it come across this way. Because I would need to have... trying to think this through. This farm is really not in a good location. At least not in my opinion. So definitely get rid of this field, and this one. And what I'm going to do is just bring this over at a 60 speed. Keep it level. And then just bring it over to here. And then we should be able to bring this over about a 60 speed. Granted, we're destroying a field, but that's fine. Oh, okay, that's pretty tough. So, we would have to bring this around like so. Bring it around at a 45. And then what we can do, have it cross over the road here. Have it stay level for a moment, and we should be okay. Go ahead and refund that bit right there. And then go ahead and try to connect it up. I'm not too sure if we can do that. It's at a 35 speed restraint right there. If we were to get it back by 1, cost of 1 field, we have a speed right there of 47. Is that sticking around the same speed that we got for this corner? 45. That is sticking around the speed that we want. You know, I will go and remove that field just to make it a bit nicer in terms of curvature. Because I really do not feel comfortable having it be anything less than 40 miles per hour. As far as like a turn that we're using. And I think that the spot where we're going to have it join tracks, it's going to be right over here at about a 45 for joining. Let's go ahead and get this signaled up with our signals now. That should be fine. We don't need any signals over there. We'll get a couple signals down here. Down there we shouldn't really need to worry about him. And of course over here we'll worry about those. Now the spot for the depot, that's of concern, like, because I'm not 100% sure where I want to have it. I do need to configure this so that way we can get another platform over here. Now I am going to have it be 3 in length, not a full 4 platform, just because I want a smaller train on that track, because it's not going to be taking that many people, to be honest, so we're not going to need that much. Let's go ahead and keep it kind of level. And it is going to go ahead and conform to the track here. Okay, that's not bad. Let's do that. Okay. And go ahead and just get this lined up to the track, please. 35 is fine, since this is just the connection it's going to have going to the depot. Which, speaking of the depot, I actually want to have the depot right over here. That's kind of why I'm doing the crossing this way. So we'll do the depot right over here. And we'll have it be, I think, right there. Really should place the tracks first, but oh well. 35, I think, is a good track speed, so we'll be good there. Okay. And we should be able to connect that across. 35 again. Signals now. Let's go and get a signal right there, there. And then a signal right there. We could put a signal right there, but I kind of don't feel comfortable with one right there. Yeah. We'll leave it alone for now. We'll get a signal right there. And then right before the bridge, kind of like right as you're inclining across it, have a signal right there. And then as over here on the opposite side, doing the same exact thing, go and do one right about here and here. And then, what else do we need? Yeah, we need a signal right here. Oop, that's in the wrong direction. And then we'll need one right there. I think that's pretty nice. We'll work with that. We will work with that. So that completes the line heading over to Biggleswade. Now we do need to connect it over to Darwin. Darwin, we're also going to have a station that is a terminal. We'll have it be 120 meters in length. And we'll have it kind of be like right over here. I think that should be a good spot for it. 2 buildings will get destroyed. That's fine. Kind of what we need to pay the price in order to build up our own lines. Now, let's see here. You're not going to be going the same way as that track, but you are going to go straight on. Now, does that actually connect the rail to right there? I think it does. Yeah, it actually looks a lot better. There is a little bit of a bump right there, which I kind of don't like, but we'll work with it. We'll work with it. In fact, we could just go straight into the station right there, but I kind of want to have it curve a little bit. Curve through this forest patch right here, and then we can have it go straight into Darwin. Perfect. So that is going to be our little branch line that we'll have. So let's go and get the line set up for that. We want to have it go from Wragby to Thetford to Biggleswade, back to Thetford, and then it will continue on. When it gets back to Thetford, you're going to go to platform 2, which is perfect. Makes me like it a lot. And that is perfectly done. Okay. Now let's go and get that branch line sorted out. And right to there. Perfect. Very simple branch line. Now, the type of trains that we want to have on here. What do we want to have? Now, we still got steam trains. We don't got electric. Correction. We don't got any multiple units yet. We will eventually. But in terms of passenger capacity, we only got the 6-wheeler right now, which is perfectly fine. It has a top speed of 62. We don't really need it to go any faster than that. We can have it stick at around 60 miles per hour and be perfectly fine. But the train we need will need to be able to top at that speed. So for the branch line, which is the one I'm going to start off with first, I think that only having 2 cars will be necessary. The train we'll have on that line, I want to say, is going to be a BR75. Has 56 miles per hour as a top speed, which should be perfect. We'll go and buy that and put you on line 5. That will go and get that taken care of. Now, we're not going to have BR on that line, but we are going to have the A3/5. The A3/5 is really expensive. Really expensive. 3.7 million just for the train itself. Now, I did go ahead and revert the date speed progression back to 1-time speed, so we might see our new trains coming pretty soon, eventually. We'll see. And the A3/5 will be potentially what we want. But I would also want to add 2 more 6-wheeler cars. That's 7 million for that train. Granted, we do have the trains to go ahead and already get us that money. So, I'm going to let the game run here for a moment, and we'll be right back. Okay, so after waiting here for quite a bit of time, we now have the money to go and buy 1 vehicle's worth of the A3/5. So I'm going to do that right now and put that immediately on line 4, which is the line that we got going between Wragby and Biggleswade via Thetford. So, let's go and take a look at this train. Oh my goodness gracious, I love these. I love the A3/5. It's kind of like the classic steam train that you would imagine being in service. Oh my goodness gracious. It definitely brings up a little bit of nostalgia. I've only seen a steam train twice before. The first time was when I had visited Virginia City in Nevada, I believe. I think it's called Virginia City. But anyway, it was when I visited Nevada and I saw my first steam train there. The second steam train was kind of like the theme park steam train that's at Walt Disney World. Or not Walt Disney World, Walt Disney, frick. I'm forgetting the name. The Walt Disneyland, Disneyland that's in Anaheim. So that was the first the second steam train that I ever saw. I don't really count it as one because it's a steam train that's inside of a theme park. Take that as you may, but that's what I believe. The first actual steam train that I saw was the one that was in Virginia City. So, at least I believe it's Virginia City. I should definitely check that. But anyway, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I think we had enough time and action for today. I'm going to leave you off here. I will be back in Transport Fever 2 on Friday for you. And if you are new to the channel, please do go and hit that subscribe button. And we're going to be back here on Friday. And I'll see you guys then. Ciao for now.